Wholesale turkey prices are up this Thanksgiving, but don't panic just yet. Why experts say you may not see that price bump at your grocery store. Plus, expert tips on how to get through the chaos of the holidays. And later, Operation Thanksgiving. Friends set out on a mission to help struggling families with the holiday meal. Those stories and more coming up in this Thanksgiving special. That time of year where we gather around the table with our family and friends. Hello, I'm Christine Pei. Thank you so much for joining us. This year, some key staples for your Thanksgiving dinner may cost you more. That's because of high grocery costs and tariffs. The latest Consumer Price Index data for September shows groceries across the country are up about 2.7% since last year. It comes at a time where many people are already struggling to afford food. Jen Sullivan kicks us off.
Outside the King Center in Atlanta, long lines of cars as people wait for free food to be handed out at this Thanksgiving food drive.
This is going to make a tremendous difference.
Ms. Williams works part-time, but she says it's not enough to put food on her table. And it's not just Thanksgiving she worries about.
It's every day. It's tonight. I need dinner for tonight.
Her story is like so many others as the cost of food continues to rise.
We've seen an increased need. We've seen seniors coming that need assistance. We've seen families.
The government shutdown put a strain on already busy food banks, with millions of food stamp recipients not receiving assistance through the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, and hundreds of thousands of federal workers not getting paid. But rising food costs are making groceries more expensive for everyone.
But for many families, they're still struggling to put food on their table and keep that roof over their heads.
Average grocery prices are up nearly 3% from last September, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report. Prices for key Thanksgiving staples like potatoes, meats, fresh vegetables, and bakery products are all up. And tariffs have caused the price of many imported items like wine to jump. One wine store says prices are 5 to 12% higher this year. There is some good news. On Friday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that retroactively lowered tariffs on beef, tomatoes, coffee, and bananas, as well as other products coming from agricultural imports. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The USDA says wholesale turkey prices are up 40% compared to last year. Prices jumped from 94 cents to around $1.32 per pound. A shrinking turkey supply and ongoing avian flu outbreaks are causing the spike, but there's good news. Economists say shoppers might not pay that full price. Retailers like Walmart and Aldi are dropping prices to pull in customers. Walmart is selling butterball turkeys for 97 cents a pound, and Aldi is also offering a full Thanksgiving meal for $10 for $40.
Retailers appear to be in tune to consumers' financial struggles and are cutting retail prices to lure consumers into the store. Major retailers across the country are selling turkeys for less than $1 a pound, $14 or $15 for a 16-pound turkey.
So which retailer has the best prices? Steve Stager visited 3 grocery stores in Colorado to compare costs.
Do we need anything from the produce?
Yeah. Steve on your side decided to use
fresh cranberries,
the basic ingredients in this year's Walmart meal, to do a comparison and find out who has the best prices on Thanksgiving staples.
Oh, $138, perfect.
This meal is supposed to feed 10 people for less than $4 a person. We started at Walmart. First thing worth mentioning, this year's meal requires more work, like it has pie crusts and filling instead of a pre-made pie. And it assumes that you have some stuff at home, like the meal includes a 5-pound bag of potatoes, but nothing else to make mashed potatoes with, like butter or milk. Walmart does have the cheapest turkey at 97 cents a pound. At King Soopers, we priced the bird at 99 cents a pound. And at Safeway, the bird was more than double that.
$2.29 a pound.
But Safeway is hoping you're willing to spave a bit. Spend more to save.
Free turkey.
They're offering a free turkey with the transaction of $100 or more. You can't count the turkey toward the $100 total. Back at Walmart, we found almost everything. But at this Walmart, we couldn't find a 4.5-ounce bag of Kinder fried onions on the list for $2.97. So we subbed French's, which added a few bucks. This Walmart was also out of its store brand canned pumpkin, so we had to pay 81 cents more for the brand name. When all was said and done, we paid $41.47 at Walmart before tax, the cheapest for these items at all the stores we looked at. The same items at King Soopers were $8 more. And at Safeway, we priced all those items at $30 more. But remember, you can get that free turkey if you spend $100. Happy shopping, and remember to return your cart if you can. I'm Steve Stager, Steve on your side, 9 News.
Thanksgiving is the busiest holiday for travel, and this year roads and airports are expected to be busier than ever. AAA predicts nearly 82 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home. That is from the Tuesday before Thanksgiving to the Monday after. It's 1.3 million more travelers compared to last Thanksgiving and a new record. AAA projects the majority of people, at least 73 million, will travel by car.
Anytime after lunchtime is when you're going to really see that traffic building, especially on the interstates at major metros.
6 million U.S. travelers are expected to take domestic flights over the Thanksgiving holiday period, a slight increase from last year. Air travel is returning to normal after the FAA lifted its flight reductions. It had cut back on flights because of safety and to the workload on air traffic controllers. They worked without pay for weeks during the government shutdown. Thousands of flights were canceled or delays. Major airlines are assuring customers they are ready for the holiday rush. Florida is the most popular domestic destination, according to AAA. And on the list of top 10 cities, 4 are in Florida, including Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Tampa. AAA says it's because of its weather, theme parks, and cruise ports. More people traveling on the road means the possibility of more wrecks. The Thanksgiving holiday period is already one of the most dangerous travel periods of the year. In fact, the crash rate for the Sunday after Thanksgiving is 65% higher than the previous Sunday. That's according to data analyzed by the company Samsara. Early winter conditions such as ice, rain, and snow can also up the risk of crashes. Experts say you can lower that risk by leaving earlier in the day, avoiding driving at night, and keeping extra space around large trucks. Farmers across the country work for months to bring their communities the ingredients they need for their Thanksgiving dinners. Audrielle Tackett went on a tour in Idaho to learn more about the people behind the food and what kind of care they put into their product.
The voyage starts here, on a Boise farm where work is year-round to bring quality food to the community.
I'm a farmer for Hen and Hare Micro Farm. We started farming, I think, about 9 years ago here.
Jessica Harold raises livestock, including dozens of turkeys every year destined for the Thanksgiving dinner table.
We usually start production in March. We get our turkey poults, is what they're called when they're young, from Dunlap Hatchery in Caldwell.
She raises turkeys for 6 months of the year while maintaining the rest of the farm and her business all year long.
We are giving the turkeys a chance to live a very natural lifestyle in a very calm habitat for them. We're not doing any kind of factory farm production.
Harold says the turkeys roam and graze outside during the day and sleep in a safe roost at night.
We think it's really important to the quality of meat that it's raised with a good intention and a non-stressful environment.
After processing at a USDA-approved facility, the turkeys return to the farm. Further north in Dry Creek Valley at Black Fox Farm, Joe Redden is growing another part of the Thanksgiving spread, the vegetables.
I've been farming for 6 years on this property.
Redden's growing season is on a different schedule.
And we start seeding things in February. We plant all the summer crops. In June, as soon as we've planted all the summer crops, we're now seeding for fall crop.
With vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage,
we seed those in June and plant them in the heat of July in order to bring those here in the fall into Thanksgiving.
It's a stark contrast to the mass production of industrial agriculture, where scale of operation can outweigh care and craft.
It might cost a little more, but you're getting more for your dollar from a nutritional standpoint and from a freshness standpoint.
Once the product is ready to be cooked, cut, and eaten, Some farmers bring their business to the Boise Winter Market.
Saturday morning, load all that stuff up into the trailer, typically about 5:30 or so. Usually I have about 10 minutes to spare before it opens. And then we begin the selling for the next 5 hours.
Hi, how are you? A hub for local food and the people who value where it comes from.
It gives back to the farmers and the people, the small businesses.
It's my normal, regular Saturday morning activity because it's my way to, go when I go shopping. I want to buy nutritious food. I know this stuff comes right from the farmers.
Steak still needs a little time.
The final step is getting these items onto Thanksgiving tables. And sometimes that table is at your favorite local restaurant.
Community, it's consistency.
Restaurants like Coins in Eagle are part of that farm-to-table movement, making meals with ingredients from Idaho farms.
No antibiotics and no added hormones, which I think our guests love. And the carbon footprint is important as well.
Idaho-grown food can cost more than food from a grocery store, but farmers say the value is worth more than the price.
Every day you go out with your dollar, you're voting with that dollar. And it's better to vote that dollar in your local community where that dollar will stay. And the more people that shop here, we'll start growing.
After the break, a doctor shares tips for families to get through the holiday chaos. Plus, Operation Thanksgiving. A pair of friends set out on a mission to make sure other families have what they need for a holiday meal. Thanksgiving travel can be chaotic for many, especially if you're traveling with kids. Our station in Florida spoke to a pediatrician for tips on how to keep the holidays safe and sane.
I am excited for Thanksgiving. I think all parents are excited. I think, as we approach Thanksgiving, it's really important for people to remember what the holiday is,
right?
Particularly as the chaos starts to ensue.
Yeah.
So the holiday represents a time for gratitude. It's also a time for togetherness. That togetherness is family, but that's also friends as well. And it's a time to promote giving.
Right.
And as parents, we have an obligation to not just model that behavior, but to involve our kids as well.
I was going to say it starts from the top down, and I think when parents get stressed out, that really does permeate the whole household. So especially if you're hosting, and maybe that's supposed to be fun, right? But that becomes a stress ball.
Absolutely. It's super easy to be distracted. But if we always remember in the back of our mind, we're here to celebrate these things and promote gratitude. And the interesting thing is, like, whether it's just simply acknowledging, like, the men and women who are servicing our country overseas, or bringing something like baked cookies to the elderly neighbor next door, that act of, like, giving and gratitude is beneficial not just for the recipient, but the giver as well.
Right.
So studies show that the act of giving actually releases chemicals. So it releases serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin, which help actually us attain a feeling of contentment, and that's true for our kids too.
Right.
And so this is a time to kind of focus on that, but then also a time to get through the chaos of the holiday.
Yeah, and maybe bring them in on that. If you're bringing over baked goods to a neighbor, or you're doing something nice for somebody else, to include them in it too, right? So they don't just see it, but they participate.
Absolutely. Have them help bake the cookies, have them walk the cookies over themselves, depending on their age.
Yeah.
But they absolutely need to be an active participant. But getting towards that travel week, I think the number one thing as parents is we have to set our expectations. And there's no such thing as the perfect travel day.
For anybody, whether you have kids or not.
And we have to expect and accept that there's going to be delays. Whether we're traveling by plane, train, bus, or automobile, we're going to be part of a mass kind of discordant migration, and everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
I think if you are traveling by car or by plane, I think movement breaks, incorporating those, are incredibly important for kids. So if you're traveling by plane, try and resist that pre-boarding section, because that just extends your time in the aircraft with the kids.
That's a good point.
Try and get them to run around before they get on the plane. When you're traveling by car, those rest stops are there for a reason. Like, get out at a rest stop, plan it, and let them run around. That goes a long way towards child sanity and parent sanity as well. And snacks are key. You know, a hungry child is a cranky child, and a cranky child tends to have meltdowns more frequently. And the truth is, that's not just kids, that's us as adults too.
Right, hangry.
Yeah.
We get hangry as well.
Absolutely. So bring healthy snacks, you know, bring crackers, bring cheese sticks, bring fruit. Don't bring things that if they spill in your car or they spill on the plane, that they're going to live there forever.
Right.
So those are things like chips and popcorn that you're going to be seeing for years on end.
What would you say about schedule? Because this is the time of year where kids enjoy a little break from school too, right? And bedtime maybe is a little bit more lax, and other things kind of go by the wayside. But that is, the structure is really important for kids.
Structure and consistency is tremendously important for kids, and really challenging this time. So as parents, we need to have some flexibility, you know, for our kids, but we also have to have flexibility with the other adults that we're with, and take that time to say, listen, we've actually got to go now, you know, or we've got to put the kids to bed, because it is super important for them.
Yeah, got it, and we all need to get our rest as well.
A pair of friends in Virginia are helping to ease the burden of the holidays for families of federal workers impacted during the government shutdown. John Duran has more on their mission, Operation Thanksgiving.
Green beans? All right, yes, green beans. I got cranberry.
During the holidays, these two pack a punch.
More green beans.
She does this every year anyway, and so I'm like, let's make it bigger.
And bolder than ever.
So initially she said, how many people did you want to try and feed?
I was like, 50 people.
I'm like 1,000.
Ginger Walker and Sandra Grimes are two friends who came up with Operation Thanksgiving.
I didn't do so well.
Feeding as many federal workers, contractors, and members of the military as possible, following 43 days of uncertainty.
So initially it started off because people weren't receiving a paycheck, but truly this is also, and it always has been, a thank you for those people who were going into work, those people who weren't able to go into work. It's for all of them.
But this effort isn't just from them. Walker and Grimes say local businesses jumped at the chance to help their cause.
Within less than 72 hours, we raised almost $10,000. Our goal initially was to feed 100 people. Our goal now is to feed 750.
Packing paper bags with everything you need to feed a family of 4 on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, and the rolls. Don't forget the rolls.
Oh, the rolls and the yams.
They say there's still more than 100 Thanksgiving meal kits to give away.
We did the shopping. They just have to cook it.
They just have to cook it.
Walker and Grimes both have family in the federal government. They know just how far a gesture like this will go.
The one thing that we always say is create a ripple of kindness. You know, one pebble causes a ripple. And we hope that that will do this with one meal.
Packing just a little bit of help for those who can use it.
There's enough negative. We need positive.
Yeah, a little sunshine in this world, please.
In Stafford County, John Duran, WUSA 9.
The pair is now expanding their operation along with federal workers and military members. They're now also helping provide Thanksgiving meals to teachers and first responders. We've got more coming up after the break. Here, the Thanksgiving song one California songwriter is hoping will take off this holiday.
Woo, another year, so glad to be here. Thankful for love, the love that we share.
There are plenty of Christmas songs, but what about Thanksgiving? A California singer says he was tired of people going straight from Halloween into Christmas. So he wrote a song, and it's called It's Thanksgiving, Y'all. Jeff Zevley met up with him at the recording studio.
If you're anything like me and seeing Christmas decorations in your neighborhood and think it's way too soon, this song's for you.
Have a seat at the table, sit right down.
This story starts by asking San Diego songwriter Lou Ward just what in the world he's cooking up for Thanksgiving.
I hope I made a Thanksgiving song that's going to start a trend.
Lou feels there's nothing more disheartening than taking down Halloween decorations and immediately hearing this song.
All I want for Christmas is you. And Mariah Carey, right?
Lou loves spending Thanksgiving with his family. He also loves singing to them and thought to himself, maybe his favorite holiday of the year just needed its own soulful anthem.
There's a whole void. There's no one doing anything for Thanksgiving. And year after year after year, nothing.
Until now.
Grandma's making that gravy, mashed potatoes. Woo! Another year, so glad to be here. Thankful for the love that we share. Have a seat at the table, sit right down.
Just days ago, Lou released the song, along with matching t-shirts and hats, so you won't forget the name.
It's Thanksgiving, y'all.
Another year, so glad to be here.
The song is streaming on all major platforms and written by a musician who has paid his dues. Here's Lou at the American Music Awards in 1994 with DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Whitney Houston was off in the distance, and I couldn't get over to meet her and talk to her and Bobby Brown, but they were there too.
Have a seat at the table, sit right down, please say a prayer. So glad you're all in town.
But maybe Mariah Carey will hear his song. Lou hopes his holiday jam will climb the charts and drive us crazy, the same way All I Want for Christmas does.
Yes. Yes. And the reason is, if we're talking about gratitude and appreciation and the people in your lives that matter to you, I don't mind driving you crazy that way. You know, to me, that's a good kind of crazy.
Christmas can wait because
it's Thanksgiving, y'all.
I dare you not to sing along and dance.
Have a seat at the table.
This is the type of song that will have everyone coming back for seconds.
I ain't got no room for pie.
Everybody's got room for
Stop
pie.
laughing at me.
Here's to y'all having a happy Thanksgiving in the Zevely Zone.
Everybody's got room for pie.
Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
That does it for us today. We hope you have a safe and fun Thanksgiving with your friends and family. I'm Christine Pei. See you next time.